Look at that. Canelo out. Hey, get the payday. You want payday? I know that Dmitry Bivol just beat the brakes off of Canelo. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Make sure you smash the like button. Also subscribe to my channel for the latest and greatest in boxing. You guys seen that clip at the beginning, the photo? Dmitry Bivol did that all night. 1-2s down the pipe. Dmitry Bivol, congratulations. Listen, I'm gonna break this into two parts. As of me recording this video, I did a 4-hour Boxing Ego watch party for Canelo versus Bivol. And the crazy thing is, I stayed on that long on the live stream. I didn't even cover the whole card. I really just covered the main event mostly. But I had a lot to say, and I got a lot more to say. So this is not the full breakdown. You guys have to hit the subscribe button for the full breakdown, but I will recap some of the stuff. This is basically like the cliff notes, and then there'll be an even more detailed video coming soon. Again, you guys got to subscribe. Now, congrats to Dmitry Bivol of Russia. He really dominated Canelo Alvarez, people. And this was a superb and supreme performance by him. Very impressive stuff. Dmitry Bivol had his way with a very good fighter in Canelo Alvarez. Unfortunately for old media, there was a lot of things and a lot of hype where they believed everything that they were saying, or at least they pushed a notion that they believed it. I seen people call Canelo King Nello and God Nello. And listen, I've never taken anything away from Canelo being a great fighter. He's very talented, but Dmitry Bivol had his number. Canelo Alvarez doesn't believe he lost, and I think he's really doing his brand a disservice. But as always, let me tell you the report and what was said. Canelo just said in the press conference that he feels Bivol only won 4 or 5 rounds, and he definitely won the fight. Cap. Bivol did what he wanted. All 3 judges, Tim Cheatham, Dave Moretti, and Steve Weisfeld, scored each of the first 4 rounds for Canelo and had him ahead 40-36 entering the 5th round. Now, boxing doesn't even try to hide it or mask it anymore. Look at the judge's name. His name is Tim Cheatham, and that's exactly what they were going to do to Bivol if he wasn't as superb as he was. They were going to try to cheat him. That's a bar. Write that down. So I don't know how the judges automatically gave Canelo Alvarez the first 4 rounds, but this has been the ongoing thing with Canelo's whole career, where no matter what the opposition is really doing, you always have judges. There's 3 judges in a championship pro boxing fight. You always have judges that somehow, some way favor everything Canelo's doing without interpreting the sweet science and what the foe is doing, or what they're presenting, or their jab, or like if Canelo's landing power shots, then they side with the power shots. If Canelo was jabbing and his opponent was landing power shots, somehow the judges are impressed with the jabbing from Canelo. So it's like there's no rhyme or reason. It just seems that Canelo is the media darling or judges darling in boxing, and they're going to give him the fight if they can. And that's exactly what came close to happening. The judges had the scorecard, which was horrendous, of 115 to 113. Guess what? Surprise, this wasn't that type of fight. It wasn't a 115-113 fight. This where boxing continues to shoot itself in the foot. Dmitry Bivol did the dang thing. He boxed beautifully, 1-2s down the pipe. He mixed in some hooks, some subtle body shots. Footwork was there. He stayed in the pocket. Canelo was backing up in spots. Canelo was exasperated. Canelo was out of breath. Dmitry Bivol would do these flurries, and then he would add a harder shot in the combination. Kept Canelo constantly having to think, constantly having to reset, get on his toes, get on his bike, similar to if you look at the first round of James Kirkland. And, you know, it was the Dmitry Bivol show. No way, no how was this really even a close fight. You look at Jake Paul, and even a former gym mate, stablemate, Ryan Garcia, said that it really wasn't a close fight. Like, Canelo lost fairly easy. Only way I see Dmitry Bivol losing is if the judges decide to steal it from him. You can't win just hitting the arms. They aren't scoring blows. End quote. And this, again, is somebody who was friends with Canelo, trained by Eddie Reynoso, and in the gym. Now, full disclosure, I picked Canelo to win by decision. Anybody that listened, I picked him to win. I also stated that don't be surprised if there's some type of controversy. And even though I knew Dmitry Bivol was crafty, I wasn't confident based on playing the politics game that seems to be the case with every Canelo fight. And I just figured that in close rounds, they would always shade the fight to Canelo Alvarez. I said, plus hypothetically, if you guys follow me, this is before the fight even took place. If you look at 3:27 p.m., the day of the fight. So this is before the fight took place. I said, plus hypothetically, even if Bivol puts it all together for the night of his life, expect a side of controversy. It is not out of the question, a la Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. Either way, Bivol ain't winning, in my opinion. The judges be on that Adelaide Bird scorecards with Canelo Alvarez, #ego. So even though I picked Canelo Alvarez to win, I told you that I thought he would probably win by hook or crook, right? Where automatically when the rounds were dangerously close, they're just going to give it to Canelo. And Bivol won. The judges actually got it correct. So for that, I was wrong in my fight prediction, but I came pretty close to Ego Stradamus being correct and striking again, just in terms of it shows you, what do you have to do to beat Canelo? If I watched the fight and I gave Bivol a lot of rounds, we'll just say that. I want to rewatch it again before I give you guys an actual number. But some people even had Bivol winning almost a shutout, and yet and still you had 3 judges cheat him who was trying to cheat him, right? And the 3 judges had it super close for Bivol. What I seen was not super close. The first couple rounds, maybe you could give Canelo, first 2-3 rounds. After that, Bivol worked himself into a rhythm and he did not look back. 1-2s, kind of an in and out style. And surprisingly, this is my honest opinion. I believe the way Canelo lost was by far probably the worst combinations of things all in one perfect storm for him to lose. What do I mean? What I mean is, one, you fought Dmitry Bivol, and he's not really a big name. If anything, you just helped his star power just grow because he just beat you, right? Similar a la Anthony Joshua losing to Andy Ruiz. A lot of people outside of myself and diehard boxing fans didn't know Andy Ruiz, right? You put him on the map. That's what happened here. 2, you did it on DAZN, an app. A lot of people had problems ordering the fight. People were double charged. So I don't think it sold that many pay-per-view buys, to be frank. 3, you were offered a more lucrative deal, Canelo. You were in a bidding war with PBC and DAZN. DAZN, you decided to go with them. And there were better named fights, bigger event fights, who maybe don't have the Bivol style. Maybe Canelo wouldn't have taken the loss. Maybe he would have taken the loss. We don't know because he didn't fight the 3-fight PBC deal that would have consisted of, or it was 2 fights, either Jermell Charlo first, and then his second fight would be Errol Spence at a catchweight of 164, or David Benavidez. But in my opinion, those would have been bigger fights. They would have sold more. So even if you did lose, like you lost to Bivol playing games, you would have at least made more money, and there would have been bigger events. So you would have that to your name. You took the short money, $15 million guarantee, instead of PBC's $45 million and $55 million, and you still lost. Second of all, how Bivol beat him was impressive, and it really set Canelo back, because that aura of invincibility and King Nello and God Nello, they were literally talking about the man fighting at cruiserweight and heavyweight. And now the same folk are in the comment section. Old media is in the comment section. Some of Canelo's racist fans are in the comment section with violins, tiny violins, saying Canelo was too small and he dared to be great. How did he dare to be great when he had a title beating Kovalev, and you said the fight was a fair fight. I said the fight was FAF. A lot of the Canelo fans didn't agree with me, and they said Canelo whooped Kovalev, and Kovalev was in prime, and he's a true 175 light heavyweight champion. So why are people now saying he's not a real light heavyweight? If he's not a light heavyweight, one, why did he move up to light heavyweight? Why didn't you take the PBC deal and you could have fought Jermell Charlo, defended your undisputed 168-pound titles on PBC for a bigger event, like I said, and you wouldn't have to worry about fighting somebody at 175 like Bivol. In addition to that, if Canelo is Mr. So small and too small for light heavyweight, then why on earth was Eddie Hearn saying he could beat Alexander Usyk at heavyweight? And he was talking about fighting MacBook Air at cruiserweight. So this was literally the worst thing that could happen for DAZN, Eddie Hearn, and Canelo, because they fed you a bunch of lies and narratives about Canelo, and he couldn't live up to it on the given night. And the way Bivol beat him was very impressive. See, this is the thing. For all the people that are saying, oh, but Canelo, he's just way too small at light heavyweight and Bivol was too big, I could understand it. It would have been better if Canelo just got hit with one punch and got knocked out cold, because, hey, it's boxing. That could happen. But when you are already a champion at 175 beating Kovalev and you knocked him out, and then you go to 168 and then you become undisputed, and then you move back up to 175 playing with your weight, I can't believe that. Like I said, it would have been better if you thought Canelo was small and he was too small for the division. It would have been better just to get knocked out, because if you just got knocked out, then you can at least make an argument, oh, he couldn't take the guy's power, the guys are too big up in that division. Makes sense. This fight had Canelo out of breath, tired, and out of answers, backpedaling, getting on his bike, getting driven backwards, and it exposed flaws from a Canelo's fight perspective and Eddie Reynoso's training perspective. And it showed that Canelo suffers from the same, he's plagued by the same things that he's always been plagued with. And that's what it shows me. When he lost to Floyd Mayweather, old media said, oh, Floyd was 36, almost 37, and he was a vet, and Canelo was just a pup. But I seen in the Bivol fight, Canelo struggled with a lot of the same things. It was just a bigger person in Bivol doing it. Bivol was fighting off the ropes. Floyd was fighting off the ropes. Floyd was letting his hands go and punching in combination and vicious right hands. That's what Bivol was doing. He was taller and bigger than Floyd doing it. Bivol used some footwork. Floyd used footwork. Bivol stood in the pocket and would trade and get the best of it. Floyd did that as well. So to me, this was the worst way. Again, if Canelo would have got knocked out, it would have been better, because then you would have a case to make an argument that he just can't deal with the weight. But he got punished for the better of 12 rounds and was seemingly tired and out of answers, and his punches were missing towards the end of the fight, and he pretty much lost his form. But I don't want to give you guys too much. You guys got to subscribe for that. I'll do an official breakdown. Again, I got so many nice things to say about Dmitry Bivol. Not many people gave him a chance. Me, I thought he would be the more so the victim of politics, and I did think the fight would be close to the point where, you know, the fight there was a couple decipherable rounds and they would just shade it to Canelo, but I knew Canelo would look exploited in certain sections of the fight. And, you know, luckily the judges got it right, but I do think the fashion in which Bivol won made a big dent in Canelo's aura. Let me know what you guys think. Canelo, he's lying, saying he didn't lose that fight. I mean, he could say whatever, but you might as well just keep it real with yourself. Bivol dominated. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. Till next video, it's Ego signing off. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.